Hello, it is Dorian here. I'm the founder of the Limitless Lifestyle Academy, and I have a question for you. How happy are you with your body and your life? Like, seriously, give it a rate on a scale of 0 to 10. How happy am I with my body at this moment? And how happy am I with my life at this moment? So this is a book I wrote about 3 years ago, and it's called Happy Body, Happy Life. And I was struggling coming up with the title because I needed it to be really, really impactful. So when I kind of just drilled it down, it all came to do with this. Why do we want to lose weight? Because we want to have a happier body so we can have a happier life. Why do we want better energy levels? So we can have a happier body to have a happier life. Right? Do you see this relationship? It's so simple, but it's so hard to do, especially for women over age 45, between 45 and like 70. Hormones are raging, right? We've never been educated about it. So we come into this point of our lives and our bodies start changing, and we're like, first it's like, oh, it'll change. That's probably because it's soccer season and I haven't been going to the gym. Well, then a year later, you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? There's a way much more going on here than just not going to the gym because of soccer. And then, 4 or 5 years later, you've gained 20 pounds, you're active, you're eating right, you're doing all these great things, and you're like, I am not happy with my body. Why? And then there's a lot of frustration that comes with that, right? And that spills over into how happy you are with your life, right? I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying. And you are not alone, trust me. And it all comes back to not being educated. And I always say this. Remember, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret? Remember that book? Remember, you got the box with all your stuff in it, right? Your mom told you it was going to happen. You're going to get boobs and curves. And mostly we were taught what was going to happen to our bodies and how to take care of our bodies. I will bet you $1 million that you didn't get a box with all of your stuff in it for menopause, that your mom didn't talk to you about it, that your doctor didn't talk to you about it, your teacher didn't talk to you about it. You went into this time of your life clueless. I was clueless. That's why I wrote this book. That's why I developed my methodology, okay? One of the biggest frustrations for women is that when these things start happening to their bodies and they don't understand why, they start to try to implement things they did in the past that used to work for them for their wellness, right? And think about it. How does that make sense? Your body is a completely different environment, right? So how is it that the things you used to do would work in that old environment to this new environment? It doesn't. So this book that I wrote is about my philosophy and my methodology for wellness for women over the age of 40, 45. And it all breaks down into 6 what I call lifestyle essentials. I call it embracing the flower. So this is my logo, right? And there's 6 rings in the logo, and they're all linked together. And the center space represents you. And these 6 things around you that are equally linked together to practice in a very specific way that helps you live in harmony with your changing hormones. It's very scientifically based, but you don't need to know that. It just works. So what are those 6 lifestyle essentials? They are balanced and optimized exercise, a very specific way of exercising for women. I can't get into that right now because it's a whole topic on its own. In fact, I have another video here that you could watch on that whole topic. But a very specific way of exercising. It's different. Your body's different. And as you age, you want to be able to switch that up as well. Number 2, habit-based lifestyle nutrition. Look, we all know diets don't work. The diet industry, the food industry, let's take the diet industry. They are there for short-term success, long-term failure. Why is it that somebody goes to Weight Watchers and has to go back every year or every 2 years? Because short-term success, long-term failure, right? That's how they make their money. So habit-based lifestyle nutrition where you're educated about what you're eating, you're educated about your own unique needs as an individual, right? And you practice new habits as opposed to counting points or getting your meals delivered in the mail. That's not sustainable. So changing your habits to match your life and your changing body and all of the other things that you're doing is critical. Number 3. So number 3 is a combination of two very important things. And why do I combine them? Because they're so linked together. Massive topics on their own. But as the third component, it's stress awareness and sleep management. And we start with stress awareness because you can't manage something you're not aware of, right? So being aware of the stressors in your life has to come first. And there's a huge hormonal component that's attached to stress. And then sleep. Also, I mean, your body does a major hormonal reset at night, okay? And, if you're stressed out all during the day and your hormones are all messed up, right? And then you go to sleep and you go to sleep with messed up hormones, then how the heck is your body supposed to restore to homeostasis hormonally during the night? Can't happen, all right? So that's number 3. Number 4, I think my personal favorite, is mindset, purpose, and vision. Again, check out for another video about vision and creating your wellness vision, about goal setting. We have a couple of really good ones on goal setting. But how do you get somewhere if you don't know where you're going and why, right? If it doesn't have meaning or purpose to you. So having a great mindset needs to be preceded by a vision of where you want to go, who you want to be, what is going to be your new identity, what are you living into, right? That needs to be identified, of the way your life is going to be. And then you bring in the mindset piece of it, right? Those are kind of steps to lead you to your ultimate vision for your wellness. And number 5, this is huge. I bet you couldn't guess it. You probably guessed some of the other ones, but you probably didn't guess this one. Education. Education, massive component of wellness for everybody, but particularly women over 40. I have a video here that's called Estrogen 101. Definitely watch it. This is the stuff that I was talking about at the beginning of this video, that we are not educated. If we are educated, we wouldn't be gaining 25 pounds by the time we're 50. It's just not going to happen. But because we're not, we are not creating happy bodies and happy lives. So understanding your body, we have an amazing program on glucose monitoring and insulin resistance and what that means to us. And as women over 40, there's a massive hormonal component to glucose homeostasis in your body and fat gain and estrogen levels. So we all know that our estrogen levels are dropping. This is another reason why women can tend to gain weight in this as your estrogen hormones start to deplete, okay? So that's education. And last but very certainly not least is community. Girls are hardwired to do things together, right? We just are. And it goes all the way back to our ancient ancestors. The men had the brute strength, right, to go out, one or two of them, and hunt down a meal, or let's say an animal for the clan, and haul it back. And they'd use every single part of that animal for their existence, right? For food, for shelter, for tools, for clothing. And the women would have to come together to help process this kill, right, for the clan, because they weren't strong enough. But I think they had more of the smarts to know what to do with all the things, if you ask me. But anyway, so we're hardwired to come together. Like even some of maybe the older women in the clan would take care of the children while the younger women would process the kill. We're hardwired to come together. And this is my favorite example of that. Have you ever seen one guy go up to another guy and say, let's go to the bathroom together? They don't. That's not the way they're hardwired, but we are. So community is so, so important. Even if you want to, start on a path of better wellness, if you don't want to go to gym, or if you don't want to do group fitness or anything, just see if you can find a buddy to do it with, okay? It makes it so much more of a natural experience for us because that's just how we are, all right? So you have your 6 limitless lifestyle essentials, and when they come together and practiced properly, they will give you a new way of wellness that's going to help you to live in harmony with your changing hormones, girlfriend, and defy these stigmas about and stereotypes about menopause. We are limitless at this age of our lives. We have wisdom, we have resources, we have time. Don't fall for the stereotypes. Try a new way of wellness. Check out some of our other videos. Subscribe if you like this video so you can have a happy body and a happy life.